Alright guys, welcome back. So we're working on a 2012 F-150. Don't have a whole lot of time here. This is actually one of my friend's vehicles. His complaint is the blower motor here. I'll show you guys what's going on. So we take the see this one here, the blower motor, and we turn that on. And no matter what speed we put it on, so we see the speed change. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the speed change there, up, down, high, low. No matter where you set it, it only blows out of the dash on one speed. So it's not stuck on high, it's kind of stuck on a in between, maybe like a 2 or 3 mark. So, but no matter what you do, hot, cold, no matter where you change the modes, it's just stuck. So that is the customer complaint. So I looked at this for him the other day. I did not have time to do a video because it was just kind of a last minute thing. And the most common part is going to be your blower resistor, your blower speed controller in this case. They don't give these things away, so how do you know? How can you be sure? So I just grabbed, like anything else we do, we're going to test it. Let's see. So here's the blower speed controller right down here. So it receives, the blower motor itself receives power from the blower motor relay, when that's commanded to turn on, and then it sends power to our blower speed controller. We have a ground on our speed controller. It grounds the motor to control its speed, so there's logic in here of some sort that it receives a pulse width modulated signal from the HVAC module itself, or what they call the DATC. So basically all we have to do is some very simple checks. We got to check, make sure we have power and ground at the controller, and then we have to check this pulse width modulated signal coming into the blower speed controller. And then once that's done, you can call it at that point. So we can just use our meter here. Little guy lives right up here under the dash, pretty easy to get to. First thing we're gonna do, like I said, we're just gonna check power and ground. So yellow and green against the black and white. We're gonna see what we have for voltage there. So we're just gonna go right on. We'll just pick our voltmeter. Hopefully I can get it to where you guys can see this. Let me get you down here on the floor. Alright. So just to be clear, we're just going to check power here. Yellow with green, black with white. And let's see, we've already got the key on. So let's see. Way here. So we've got black with white right there. This is yellow with green, I think. We've got nothing because we actually have to turn it on. So let's turn it on. Let's see. And there we are. So we have battery voltage. Oh, I lost my pad here. Got battery voltage there. So that is good. What we'll do next, we'll just leave the key right on. I was going to shut it off, but we'll pop right into our scope here. We'll leave our ground in there on the black with the white stripe, and we're going to go to the control wire now. So the control wire, it's going to be this white with a violet stripe, and this is going to give us a pulse width modulated signal to this speed controller. So that should be, it's going to be the smaller wire because there's no current on this thing. So there it is. I wish I had a little less glare for you guys. You guys can see that. We'll change our see, it's a 0 to 5 volts it looks like. So we'll come down here. We'll get 50 milliseconds across the screen, and we are on, I don't know what speed we're on right now. It's on auto. Looks like it's on a higher speed. Alright, so I'm going to crank it all the way down. So there's our lowest speed setting. You can see our on time is very low. There's the next speed setting, and we're going to constantly increase here until we hit our highest speed setting, which is just a steady 5 volts. And that's one setting down right there. That's kind of in a nutshell how that works. So we can also look at our duty cycle control, so we can just pop on here and do it like this, and then we're going to go ahead and change speeds, and we're going to watch our duty cycle decrease with each step of the motor here until we hit 0, and then we can back it back out, and you can watch it just go down in steps. So Now that we looked at that, we can justify, you know, making the call, you know, spending the 60 bucks or whatever these things cost and replacing it, and know that we have everything here to make this work. So it really only takes a minute to find out, you know, do I, you know, is the HVAC controller bad? Is the, you know, is the blower speed controller here bad? You know, what parts at fault? Like I say, you don't want to just go, you know, winging these things in on a whim. Or at least, you know, we won't hear the shop for what it takes to, you know, be 100%. Brought on. So I don't know what size these are. Whether it's 7 or 8, one or the other, but this thing lives. I'd show you, but I'll show you in a second. Yep. So there's the connector we were at right there. So it's pretty easy to get to. I'm going to work on getting this out. Looks like there's 2 screws that hold it on. We'll put the new one in. Verify that it works, which we're 100% confident with. And then I'll show you one more way that we could do this, because we always get the question, what if we don't have a scope? You know, which is a viable question. I mean, scopes are actually pretty cheap to buy nowadays. But what we could do is we could just check the average, you know, voltage input into it also, and that will give us a little bit of data. I'll show you that here right after we get this new one put in. That way, if all you have is just a regular standard voltmeter and can't read, you know, duty cycle, which most of them do, you can, you know, go about it that way. Alright, that's all in. We're going to take and plug it back in here. Now we'll check his blower speeds here. Let's see, I think it's on. There we go. So we can see as the speed increases, or the, just like that. So one last thing. Fire this back up. Now we're going to hook back on our control wires, so the white with purple and the black with white. Then we're just going to look at this with a regular voltmeter, you know, 0 to 5 volts. So we get back up in that black with white and the white with purple here. Those are probed in there enough. We're going to come into regular digital voltmeter. We're on a low setting, so we're going to be on maybe 1.5 volts, something like that, at 1.3. Let's just get this on a 5 volt scale. Not that it matters. So that's our low setting. Next one up. Next one up. As this pulse width modulation changes, our average voltage is going to change also. And then that's going to be our highest setting, 4.5 volts. Then we go down and voltage decreases. So that's one way you can do that. Now, just did a video today on this old Ford that actually sits right there, that blue one, and we kind of showed on that how you sometimes, you know, this voltage spec on a frequency signal, which on that truck was a map sensor. Apologize if the video ain't out yet, but we showed how looking at just the voltage can actually burn you on that and not really give you any information. So certain situations, you know, for example like this, you know, if you're on that control wire and that voltage was, let's say, you know, 1.8 volts and you're going up and down and it's not changing, you know, at that point you're gonna have to kind of change your diagnostic approach. But if you know, your blower speed's stuck on low or medium or however this one was, and you check your control side and you see your voltage going up and down with you know, user input, it's, you know, safe to assume at that point that, you know, your resistor is toast. Anyhow, that's it. This guy's got to get back to work. He just stopped in on his lunch break, but I just wanted to share this with you guys. My approach, how I did it, how we fixed it, wiring diagram, using your noodle, figuring out how things work, and then making the call so you don't get burned. So anyhow, check us out on our socials, Patreon, Facebook, all that business. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Make sure you ring the bell too so you get notifications. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.